Welcome to the Women's Hoop Show. Woo! I could not wait. I was running to record this episode. The Mercury just sent the number 1 seed Lynx home, sent them to Cancun, sent them packing in a stunner. I still can't believe it. And the Fever forced a game 5 with the Aces. The playoffs have been perfect. It has been so good. We're breaking down what each team did right, what went sideways, and the adjustments ahead for those who are left. And then make sure to stick around. We're sending flowers, sponsored by Cash App, to the players and teams that earned their roses. There is so much to unpack, so much to get into. Let's get into it. Cheryl Swoops. Hello.
What it do, Jordan? Hi, boo.
How are you? Have these games stressed you out like they've stressed me out?
You know what? I don't know if they've stressed me out because I ain't got a dog. I ain't got a dog in the fight, right?
Yeah.
They've done something to me. I just don't know if it stressed me out. I will tell you, I have been on the edge of my couch though in both series. Like, what? I am here for it. The only thing I hate is that we don't get a game 5 in the Minnesota Phoenix series. Because
I know. I was like, good. That would have been just pure cinema perfection. But we got close games. We got game 5s. These playoffs have been everything that you could have dreamed of. Drama, character foils against each other. It's the refs versus the coaches. It has so many layers to be a Tony Award-winning play.
Yes.
Because of all of the drama. And I'm here for it all. I'm here for
all of it. Yes.
All of it.
All of it. Which is why I wanted a game 5 in Phoenix, Minnesota series. But yeah, whatever.
I know.
Still been good.
Should we just go into that series? Because there is just so much to break down. And we have 2 games to kind of recap here. And I think both games kind of tell the story of how this series ended. So let's start with game 3. That was on Friday. And, they're coming to Phoenix. Phoenix has all of the momentum after that 20-point comeback in Minnesota on their home court. They came in and then they took care of it. Like, it was. Let me gather myself because I'm just like I'm like so amped up. I feel like I'm about to sub in.
I feel it. Oh my God. I'm like, did you play in this game?
You know what? I wish I could. But I was just out of breath walking up some steps right now. So I would not be of any use. But going back to game 3, besides those last 20 seconds, which we're going to talk about, but what kind of stood out to you just with momentum and how important game 3 was?
Listen, let me start by saying this.
Yeah.
I am not shocked that Phoenix won this series. I'm not. Okay, I want to start with that.
Yeah.
I will say this. So in game 2, I thought at Minnesota, I just thought Phoenix said, we're not going to lose 2 games. We're going to win and we're going to go back home and do what we got to do. Game 3, Minnesota, I honestly thought the way they came out, the way they played, Natisha Heidemann, I thought was huge in that game, right? And I really believed that Minnesota was going to win game 3. And to your point, before the last 20, 30 seconds of that game. There's something about this Phoenix Mercury team, though, being led by AT, that says they are on a mission. And I know we haven't gotten to the other series, and a lot of people on social media are like, I don't want to see a Aces Mercury finals. Well, first of all, the Aces aren't there yet.
Yes.
But if that happens, I am so okay with it. I
Me
am
too.
so I really love watching this Phoenix Mercury team play. And right now, their thing is, if you sit and you listen to the very end, because I can't get enough of it, where they're all saying, don't pick us. Don't pick us. Like the players are like, don't pick us because we know
Mhm.
no one picked us to do anything that we're doing.
Mhm.
Although I am not surprised that they're doing what they're doing. I don't know. I think AT, the lack of respect that she's gotten, not just this year, I'm going to say the last 2 years, when it comes to MVP conversation and everything that she did for Connecticut, everything she's done for Phoenix this season, the disrespect has still been there. And
Mhm.
I think AT is on a mission to prove to people, like, listen, these triple doubles and things that I've been doing, it's not a fluke. This is who I am, this is what I do, and I am going to lead my team to the finals and possibly a championship.
They have just been this perfect playoff team in the sense that, like, this is why you play the game. You don't
Yes.
give up. There is so many times, and I don't want to
Yes.
compare to the NBA, but I just feel like sometimes when I watch those playoff games, it's like, all right, it's the third quarter. We lost this one. We'll get them the next game, or we're going back home. So we'll fold this one and we'll win the next one. Phoenix has never had that mindset.
Nope.
Every single quarter, they are like, we can win this. We can go on a run. It has been such a testament of why you don't give up, why you keep playing, why you give it 110% the entire time, and this roster has been put together with that emphasis of, yeah, we're the underdogs. Nobody has really thought that we could do this. Even though we have a big three, they definitely think they definitely didn't think we could do this in the first season of this
Oh,
iteration
100%.
of this team. And I was one
100%.
of those people. I
Well,
was
you
a
know what?
doubter.
You know what, Jordan? But I think when free agency happened in all the things, right? And they were putting this team together, which
Mhm.
again is why I was like, AT deserves more respect when it comes to the MVP conversation. And if you remember at one point, I was like, if I have a vote today, I am voting for AT as my MVP. Right.
Right.
And no disrespect to Fee, and obviously no disrespect to Asia, but to think about all the things that AT continues to do with two torn labrums, and she is on a team that only has two returners, one starter and Ka, who was hurt, who was injured at the beginning of the season, right? So Ka had to come back and find her flow, and they hadn't really played a lot of ball together. So
Mhm.
for Phoenix to be doing the things that they're doing right now, to your point, the first year with this practically whole new team. Like, this is impressive. And I love what
Absolutely.
you said about they're never out of a game. And if you listen to, I think Satu, the mid game interviews, which I absolutely hate with the players and the coaches, I hate it. But if you listen to Satu, anytime she gets a question about, well, you're not shooting the ball well, or you guys aren't doing this or that, she is so even keel. And she was like, we're good, right? Like, we have so
Mhm.
much trust in each other, and the shots will start falling. It ain't about that. It's about our defense. I think everybody on that team, they're bought in. They're bought into their identity. They're bought into just believing in themselves. The last thing I'll add is, I thought during free agency, like, you're getting Satu, you're getting AT, and their big three, Satu, AT, and Ka. I was like, okay, I like these pieces. One of my questions that I had for this team was, yes, you have Natasha Mack, but who's your other big, right? When
Mm.
it comes down to scoring in the paint, or not even so much scoring, but defending other bigs. When Natasha Mack subs out, my question was, who is that person for you? And they have shut down any questions, any concerns that I've had as far as needing another big like that.
Mhm.
Every single player on this team, when they come in, it's like, I don't care what position you want me to play, what you want me to do. Their defensive rotations are good. They're on the same page. I just, listen, I can't get enough of this Phoenix Mercury team. I cannot.
It is belief. It is pure belief. And going back to that game 3, um, that was a close one. I think
Yeah.
especially coming from game 2 where it was so lopsided and then so
Yep.
lopsided again, and it was 15 lead changes in that. You mentioned Natisha Heidemann having a huge game, which was a key part to why they lost game 2, was because Minnesota only had 3 bench points,
Hmm.
and that was completely looking at Natisha Heidemann. Like, she is their spark off of the bench. So she was able to show up. And then it's going back and forth. It's going back and forth. The refs have been a key main character in both of these
Ooh,
series
child.
separately. But I think it's been so interesting in this Phoenix and Minnesota series how in game 1, it was like the fastest game ever because there were no foul calls and it was only like 6 fouls the whole game and it was like an hour and a half. We just wrapped that game up so quick because the whistle wasn't getting blown. Then you go to game 3 and in the final 20 seconds of the game, Phoenix had the momentum, they had the lead, but Minnesota was still trying to make a push. There could have still been a chance. AT steals the ball from Nafisa Collier. They bump knees. Fee twists her ankle, which do not watch that
Mm,
replay if you
mm.
are sensitive like me, because that was rough.
Yeah, it was
And
bad.
steals it for a layup. Once Cheryl Reeve, the head coach in Minnesota, saw that her star player was injured, there was no foul call on the play. She storms onto the court, is going beelining for a referee. She is being held back by her coaches. She takes a very long time to get off the floor. My favorite part, Cheryl, was Dejanay Carrington trying to hold a towel over to try to cover Cheryl Reeve. Even though we have a lot of cameras, Dejanay, we can see
Yeah,
from overhead, we can see
but
from
I can
left, from the
appreciate
right.
it.
She's
I
like,
was
"Oh,
like,
this is it.
"Girl."
Let me try to block this."
I was like, "Dejanay, what are you really doing with that towel? Because you ain't blocking nothing. Nothing." And then, honestly, I was like, "Oh, no, put the towel down because I'm here for it. I need to see all the things. All the things."
Would it be a WNBA playoffs without a Cheryl Reeve crash out? I don't think so. I don't think so. But
No.
this crash out was epic, Cheryl. And I guess first, was she right to do this? I think yes. You're protecting your star player. So you gotta do it. You gotta.
Well,
You
here's the
gotta do
thing.
it.
I don't think it was just about that one play. I
Right.
think, listen, the refs have been awful the entire season. My thing is, and I'm going to answer your question. Can we just be consistent?
Yeah.
Just be
That's
consistent.
exactly.
If you're
Exactly.
gonna let stuff go, let it go. If you're gonna call ticky tack fouls, then call ticky tack fouls. But
Mhm.
it's just been so inconsistent all season, let alone the playoffs.
Mhm.
I I've always had nothing but respect for Cheryl Reeve. Game 3 took my respect level of her to a whole nother level. Cause Cheryl Reeve was like, listen, I don't give a you know what. And she said it plenty of times in her press conference. Was she right? 100%. 100%. Regardless of whether, okay. Because this is a conversation that I think we could really, really dive into. And it's been like a
Yeah.
hot topic on social media, right? First of all, people have been saying that AT is a dirty player forever, right? Since she got into
Mm,
the WNBA. I have been the one person or a person, I'm sure there's a lot, that honestly I've said I don't think AT is a dirty player. I think AT is a physical player.
mhm,
And there's a difference to me. There's a difference in being physical and there's a difference in being dirty. But I could also say there are a lot of physical players in the WNBA.
mhm,
That particular play, and this is just my opinion, I did not think it was a foul. I thought it was a clean steal. It's just unfortunate that when she got the steal, that she and Fee, their knees bumped.
mhm,
And I know a lot of people are like, "Yeah, but she undercut her." I didn't think she undercut her. Like,
mm,
it was a clean steal. She had the steal, she was going, they bumped knees. I absolutely hated to see Fee go down the way she did, because 'cause you're right, the ankle, I was like, "Oh, no, she ain't coming back from that."
she ain't
Not
coming
not for
back.
not for game 4, right?
Mm-mm, you knew it
And
immediately.
yeah, and so I don't even wanna go into that more. I just To me, there was nothing dirty about the play.
Mhm,
And I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was a dirty play." I did not think it was a dirty play. Um, it was just unfortunate the way everything happened and the way it ended.
mhm,
So, if I am Cheryl Reeve, absolutely I'm going to crash out because she knew in that moment, one, Fee's done.
mhm,
Not only in this game, but she ain't gonna be able to play in game 4. And two, she knew that without Fee, their chances of advancing, not no disrespect to anybody else on that team, but you lose your best player, it's going to be really, really, really hard to come back and beat Phoenix in game 4 on their court.
mhm.
So, absolutely, Cheryl Reeve did exactly what she's supposed to do. She did exactly what I would have done. Here's what I will say, and then I'll stop. I absolutely do not agree with the suspension.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Let's
fine her. You fine
can
her.
we get to that? Can we get to
Yeah,
that?
go
Because
ahead.
so I agree with everything that you said. I think specifically, if this was the only play of the game, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. But it was a summation of the
Mhm.
whole game and the physicality the whole game, and then
Yep.
this happens. So that's why it kind of bubbled over into something so big. But Cheryl Reeve gets ejected. She gets two technicals. She storms on the court. She gets tossed. Then she goes to the press conference, and this is Cheryl Reeve's stage. This is where she really
Yeah.
shines. She gets a mic in front of her. She lets it all go. I don't have the full quote from the press conference, but some call outs were, her saying that her star player has zero free throws, and she had five fouls. How does that happen? And then she said, quote, if this is what the league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to
Mhm.
officiating. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinal playoff worthy is effing malpractice.
Ugh,
End
ugh,
quote.
ugh, ugh.
Just a bar there. Just undefeated Cheryl Reeve.
So my again, these are all my personal opinions.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cheryl Reeve got suspended, I think, not because of her actions or reactions on the court. She didn't touch anybody. Yes, she was going after them and had a lot to say. She got suspended because she called some people out in the press conference. When she
Yeah,
said, "I am
specific.
calling for a change of leadership," I said, "Uh-oh.
I
Uh-oh.
said the same thing. I said, oh no. Here
Uh-oh."
I just imagine somebody in a back office just counting up the fines. Like they just had a tally and they're like, "Ooh, technical, double technical, ejection. She's taking too long to get off the court. Oh, she called out leadership. Oh, she
Mhm.
cussed
Mm.
in the press
Not
conference
only
talking
not
about
only did she
refs
cuss, she dropped the F-bomb a few times.
few times." And they
Hmm.
said, "We're out of fingers, we're out of fines.
We're
We
out of
have
fingers,
to
we're out of toes, we're out of yeah, she got to go. She
we
got to
we
go.
gotta we gotta suspend her." This was the official statement from the league on Saturday. I remember getting this email right before my bridal shower and I was or my baby shower and I was like, "Oh my god, she's out." It said, quote, "Her conduct and comments included aggressively pursuing and verbally abusing a game official on the court, failure to leave the court in a timely manner upon her ejection with 21.8 seconds to play, inappropriate comments made to fans when exiting the court, and remarks made in a post game press conference." So that was the whole enchilada. That was
Mm.
the whole crash out. And it's believed to be the first time in the history of the WNBA that a coach has been suspended in a playoff game. Um I actually think that she did deserve the suspension and I think she wanted it. I think she wanted to either have the biggest fine total or make history with the suspension. She wanted to make this statement. And to your point, when it was her star player, it was like our chances are very slim. Not even saying that
Mhm.
she didn't believe in her team,
Oh, for
but
sure.
again, even if they would have won game 4, they would have had to go back to game 5. Phoebe was not playing. Like her ankle was she
No.
was on a scooter. Like that would
No.
have been
Yeah.
a Hercules like Kayla
Yeah.
McBride had 31 in game 4. She would have had to have 40 in game
Yeah.
5. Like it
Yeah.
was their season was done in that moment. And I think Cheryl Reeve was like, "I'm going out swinging and I'm trying to catch a ref on my way down."
Or 3.
Or
I'm trying to
3.
or 3, not just 1, or 3. But Jordan, I can't
Woo!
I just, she was very specific in her feelings to
Yeah.
say for leadership to deem these 3 particular refs good enough to be reffing game 3 of the semis,
Yeah.
that's malpractice.
Mm.
I said, "Oh, oh, ouch. Oh, geez. Mm, mm, mm. Mhm, mhm.
At this point,
Take
if you're a
that."
referee, you're just I mean, they're coming after you personally. It's not even this one was personal. It's not even just this blanket group that you're in.
Mm.
I would need to look at myself in the mirror. I would be like, "Dang, they are really coming for my head. Like, am I good at my job?" Like I would really need to reflect. And I think a lot of these referees need to because then you go to the other series. Becky Hammond was like, "Yeah, Cheryl Reeve didn't tell a lie. She told the truth."
Oh,
Damn. Okay.
listen, I'm laughing right now, but there is no way in hell I could ever be a referee. 'Cause I'm
No.
petty like that. Cause if I'm a referee and I hear the comments that Cheryl Reeve just had to say about me and every other coach in the league throughout the season, like, I'm gonna have to come back and say something. Even though I know you're probably right, because we're not very good at our jobs right now. It's again, this is the last thing I'll say because I will say this: the refs are human. They are human.
Mhm.
They're going
Mhm.
to make mistakes, right?
Mhm.
But some of the no calls or calls that shouldn't be calls, like the inconsistency for me as a former player and now as a fan who watches a game, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, what can we just be consistent with it? That
Let's
that
go
that
on.
that's it. That's all I ask. But Cheryl, listen, I know you got
Mhm.
suspended. I know the season didn't end the way you wanted it to, but girl, I am here for it. Kudos to you because she let it out. And I can't blame her though. I really can't. I can't blame her. And and in that moment, right, when AT got the steal and you saw Fee go down, of course, your immediate reaction and thought is, how dare you? Like, how could you not call a foul on that play?
Mm,
Right? And I'm sure at that point, Cheryl was like, she had had enough. She had had enough.
wow.
Mm,
Woo.
mm,
Um,
mm,
that was game 3. And then we had another game after that. Game
Whew.
4, real quick. I think this idea that you're without your head coach, you're without your star player, it's an elimination game. Like everything was really stacked against Minnesota. And still, they came out incredible. They came out, got an early 11-point lead in that first quarter. The game was tied at halftime. And then again, Minnesota went on a run. Their famous third quarter was able to go up by 14. And then they lost the lead again because of that fight from Phoenix, just not
Yep.
letting up. I think that it would have been incredible for a storyline for us to be sitting here and saying, despite all of those odds, despite
I
their coach down,
know.
despite
I
that, they were
know.
able to come out and do it. But Phoenix said, "Nah, we don't want to get on another plane. We want to rest. Like this is our motivation." And now the Phoenix Mercury, Cheryl, are going to the finals. The finals.
Yeah. Listen, back to your point. Yes, Minnesota had everything stacked against them, but as a player, you know what people are saying and thinking, right?
Mhm.
Like there's no way Minnesota's going to win without Fee, without Cheryl. So as a player, which is why I think Minnesota jumped out to this lead. They were
Mm.
like, "Oh no, don't count us out just yet cuz you
Yeah,
still got Courtney Williams who was hooping in game 4,
absolutely.
right? Kayla McBuckets was hooping, Jess Shepard was hooping, right? Like they still had players that were like, mm-mm. We know we're without our best player, we're without our head coach, but we can still hoop too,
Mhm.
right? So that's why I think they jumped out to that lead. And then, right, Phoenix was like, what in the what? Oh no, we're not doing this. And just shout out real quickly, Dewana Bonner
Mm-mm-mm.
has shot the ball horribly
Horrible.
the entire playoffs. But this is
Man.
why. This is why you go and get a player like a Dewana Bonner. The vet, the experience, she ain't afraid to take the big shot. And she was huge in game 4.
Massive.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is if you're Nate Tibbetts right now, you're like, oh yeah, I knew what I was doing. This is why I brought Dewana. Right. And it doesn't really Jordan, not a lot of players can be for whatever. I don't even know what her stats are from the 3, right? In the entire
Mhm.
playoffs because she hasn't shot the ball very well.
Mm-mm.
And that can play on your psyche if you're like, man, I just don't want to shoot anymore because it's just for whatever reason it ain't going in. But Dewana Bonner is the ultimate vet. She has the experience, but also her teammates having that confidence in her, saying, "I don't care if you're forever, shoot the next one because it's going in."
Mhm.
And when that first 3 went in, I said, "Oh, it's over." Because
Timely. Like, couldn't have
yeah,
fell at
oh,
the most perfect time. Yeah,
oh, and I love that for her. I
me too.
love that for her.
Me too.
I hate. Listen, somebody has to lose. We know that. I hate that it ended the way it did for Minnesota with Fee going down. But I love this for AT and for Dewana. I
Mhm.
do.
Me too. Especially after Not only just historically of AT going to the finals, being third in MVP voting, Dawana, the season that she's had to be able to be the hero of an
Mhm.
elimination game. Like that is this is why we play the game, this is why we watch the game, for these type of stories. But on the other end, for Minnesota to lose in the finals last year the way that they did, to have the season that they had, number one all year, consistent, but then in a pivotal point, Fee goes down. She's having an MVP season. She doesn't get MVP. Then she gets injured in the last game. Like, what a roller coaster of emotions. I can't imagine what the Minnesota Lynx are feeling. Kayla McBride really let it out in the last
Mhm.
press conference with her emotions, just saying, you know, I do it over again with this locker room, but it just has to hurt. This is not what we could have predicted at the beginning of the season, but things happen, and it is crushing for a Lynx fan. I know, because it was written in the stars that this was your year. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was like, yeah, Minnesota are gonna win. It's theirs to lose. Um, but it didn't work out that way, and that has to be very heartbreaking. I don't know kind of where they go from there. Do they try again? I still think this is a really great team. I also had question marks with Dejanay. I wish we could have saw Dejanay in the mix
Yes,
too.
agreed. Dejanay
Um
makes a difference for this team.
a lot of
100%.
what ifs, a lot of what
Yep,
ifs, and
100%.
that's really really tough, really tough. But Phoenix Mercury, you are back to the finals for the first
Let's
time since
go.
2021. The first season after Diana Taurasi retires, the first iteration of this big three, only the second year with Nate Tibbetts. You are in the finals. Wow. Wow. I can't wait to see what they do and how this grit, how their defense
Yep,
can turn into a potential championship.
I like it.
Wow.
Can you
Wow.
imagine if it's and I'm only saying this because it would be really interesting, probably 2 teams in 1 picked. What if it's the Fever and the Mercury in the finals? No
I
aces, no Lynx.
I don't even know what I would do.
Well,
I
because
would
I'm sure nobody had that on their bingo card.
no.
No.
No. No.
Hmm.
Oh my god. I can't even think about that. I actually can't even think about that. If that
Oh
happens, I
my gosh.
wish I could build a time machine and go back and put a bet in on
Oh
this,
my
and everyone would
gosh.
think I was crazy,
Oh
and
my
I would be
gosh.
cashing out now. That would be
Yeah.
woo. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Fever, you mentioned it. Let's take a break real quick. And then when we come back, we need to talk about the other incredible series that's on the other side
Woo.
of these playoffs between the Aces and the Fever. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. We're still talking playoffs. And now it's time to go to the other side of the bracket
Mm.
between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces, which has turned into a series. Like, we have a series. Game 5 will be on Tuesday. And how did we get here? Let's start with game 3, because that was a great win for the Aces. That was
Yeah.
a solid win, 84-72. That put the Aces leading 2-1 in the series. Let's just specifically talk about how Asia Wilson struggled from the floor, and the Aces were still in it. I think that's what was most shocking to me. I'm like, if you would
Uh-huh.
have looked at this box score, you would think the Aces were getting blown out by 40. But Jackie Young kept them in it. She had a great game, finished with 25 points. Chelsea Gray had 15. Alyssa Smith had 16. But then I don't know what happened. Asia Wilson just it clicked and she turned into that girl MVP and finished the game out strong. But what were kind of your observations from that? Seeing her struggle but kind of able to bounce back.
Well, here's the thing. Her very first shot was a 3,
Yes.
right? And that she made. So I
Mhm.
was like, "Uh-oh." That was my thought, right?
Yeah.
The fact that her first shot was a 3 and went in, I was like, "Okay, gonna be a long night." But before the game, I said the Aces have to win this game.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
don't want to go
Agree.
into game 4 being down with a must win, right? So they took care of business. The thing about Asia Wilson that I respect so much is it doesn't matter if she's 0 for 50. Shot number 51, she's shooting it with just as much confidence as she did the other ones.
Mhm.
And even though she knows that she's not shooting the ball well, you're never going to see that. She's going to continue to play and shoot the ball the same way. To me, yes, down the stretch, she started knocking down the shots, shooting it with confidence like these shots are going in. But I thought it was the other players, right, that really
Mhm.
were big for the Aces and kept them in it. And you mentioned it, Jackie Young. I just Jackie
Huge.
Young looked like the old Jackie Young from last year, year before.
Mhm.
But a player to me that I kind of felt like she could be key in this series is Nalissa Smith. One, because anytime you get an opportunity to play against your former team, whoever that is,
Of course. Yeah.
like you want to show them, let me just show y'all what you're missing right now.
Mhm.
And Nalissa Smith, offensively scoring the ball, defensively defending, rebounding, the energy she brings. I thought Nalissa Smith was key for the Aces in game 3. And I know we haven't gotten to 4, but I want to say this because I was completely puzzled in game 4 as to why Nalissa Smith was not in the game at the end.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that one, I was very confused by that.
Mhm. I agree. No, I think when you look at we have the Renner show right here, and if you would look at Asia Wilson, 13 points on 6 for 20, I would
Ooh,
not I would
ooh,
not think that the Aces pulled that out, but I think this was
no.
a character win. Like they just really needed to get through this one. Kelsey Mitchell was still huge in game 3, 21 points. Lexi Hall had 16 points, 10 rebounds, but going into game 4, Kelsey Mitchell was on, I mean, just another level, just a pure score. Every time I watch this woman play basketball, I am having a great time because of how she can score the basketball.
Yeah.
25 points, that floater at with about a minute left, that and
Mm,
one floater that
mm,
she just pushed
mm.
up there so
And drew the
perfectly,
foul.
like, come on. We are watching one of the best scorers as a guard that we will see. It has been so fun. Also, Aaliyah Boston and the Asia Wilson battle has been worth the price of admission for how they have been going back and forth. Because AB in game
Mm,
4, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. She needed this type of game for her confidence as well, I think. But it has been so fun to see them battling it out. To your point, kind of opposite of the Minnesota Phoenix series where it's a lot of guard play, a lot of forwards. This has been very much like post to post action in this series.
God, I don't even know where to start with this one because the Aaliyah Boston Asia Wilson matchup has been one for the ages. It
Mhm.
just has been one for the ages. But before I go there, you know how I talked about AT being disrespected? when it comes to MVP voting and just her play and all the things. I need people to start putting more respect on Kelsey Mitchell's name. If Kelsey Mitchell is not the best guard in the game right now, she's absolutely top 2.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think who number 1 is. I'm just saying.
I know, I know.
Kelsey Mitchell is a problem. She's
Yeah.
quick, and just when you think, "Oh, no, I got you in front of me," like, she just maneuvers and does so many crazy things with the ball, and the way she's able to get her shot off and get to the hole and just stop on a dime and step back, like, I can't get enough of watching her play. And I just need people to really truly understand who we're watching, what we're watching, and let's just put some respect on Kelsey Mitchell's name. Okay, that's
Mhm.
one. Odyssey Sims, to me, in game 4 was huge. She was
Mhm.
huge for the Fever. So
Yes.
the other thing I want to say, can somebody, I don't know who, but please sign Odyssey Sims to a real contract for the season next year. Okay. Last thing, Lexi Hall is a completely different player at home than she is on the road. Defensively, she's going to do what she does. She's going to play hard on whether she's at home or on the road.
Yeah.
But her in game 3, especially her ability to just shoot the basketball. Like, I know they didn't win game 3, but Lexi Hall was huge
Mhm.
for the Fever in game 3. And if Odyssey and Lexi can play like that on the road in game 5,
Yes.
it's going to be a tough matchup for the Aces. But
Mhm.
they got to take
Mhm.
their game on the road.
Yes.
Now let's go to AB in MVP Asia Wilson. Oh, I love it. I just love everything I'm seeing. First, you
So
get
good.
Aaliyah going to the press conference having stuff to say, and then you get Asia going to the press conference saying, "Well, you got to ask Aaliyah that." She said, "I got a special whistle," but yet she shot 13 free throws. So then
Interesting.
then I
Interesting.
start looking for, wait, let me go see what did Aaliyah say about Asia? And here, okay. I'm going to be a little petty right now because I think this was in game, I, I don't know, game 2 maybe, when Aaliyah did her in-game interview that I absolutely hate again. And the question was something about Asia. And Aaliyah said, I mean, Asia's a pretty good player. So when she said that, I was like, oh, oh,
Oh.
a, a pretty good player? Okay. Okay. So that was the pettiness in me. But I was like, I mean, she is MVP for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Jordan, if I didn't know that the two of them, they were teammates at South Carolina, right?
No,
Didn't
I
they
don't
play
think
together? They didn't play
did
together for 1 year?
I don't think they overlapped. We could check that. In my
No.
memory right
Okay.
now, I wanna say no.
Okay. I don't know why I thought they played 1 year, but I don't know. Either way, they are
Yeah.
Gamecock. They're former Gamecocks. But when they are battling, it does not seem like they care too much for each other.
No, no, no. It is a battle for
And
a
I
reason.
and I am so okay with that. I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Last thing I'm gonna say, which is same thing in the first game. Can we be consistent with the refs? The whistle.
Oh my god.
Just give me some consistency because I know there were a couple times that Aaliyah, she got Asia good elbow in the throat. And it was either a no call or maybe a foul on Asia. I don't know. I just need some consistency. Whatever way you're going to call it, if you're going to call the ticky tack touchy fouls, then let's call it on both ends. And if you're going to let
Yeah.
them be physical and just knock each other out, then let's be consistent on both ends. Right.
Mhm.
So when you
Mhm.
start looking at the free throw discrepancy, Like Asia said, I mean, we foul every now and again, but she was like, if when you look at the free throws, like there is a discrepancy there.
Yes.
And when you're
Yes.
playing a team, and this is both teams, when you're playing teams that are physical and defend the way they defend, you know they're going to be fouls called, or it should be fouls
Mhm.
called.
Mhm.
So I'm very curious to see how the refs are going to call the game in game 5, but I do know one thing. Playing Vegas at home for a win or go home situation with the MVP, I'm going to put my money on Asia on this one.
For a chance to
I
go to the
just
finals?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you
am.
talked about the discrepancy. Becky Hammond, in her press conference after Game 4, they shot 34 free throws. We shot 11. Next question. So that is a
Yeah.
large gap from that discrepancy, and I just again the refereeing. I don't want. Here's what I'll say. Please don't have it come down to a game 5 in this hype in all of its glory in this it's going to be a great game, have it come down to officiating. Like please don't let it get to that point where there's a missed call, a no call. The trend how we've been going, my senses is that it will, but please don't let it. We'll see if this soundbite ages well. Um but Asia Wilson's
Mhm.
bounce back games, we know she goes 6 for 20, then she comes back and has a 30
A
piece.
31 piece. Yeah.
Putting her
And it
over.
wasn't enough for them to win.
I know. I know. That it feels so opposite. She has a bad game, you lose. She has a great game, or you have a bad game, you win. I am also with you that I'm putting my money on the Aces, but this Fever team with this idea of you mentioned it in the last segment. Just the idea that this Fever team could be in the finals
Mhm.
is so wild.
Mhm.
But then you see how they play and you see their scoring ability and you're like, I mean, yeah, would I want to see Kelsey Mitchell in the final? Absolutely. Like that would be so fun. I
Mm.
just didn't think it would be this iteration of the team that would get her there, I guess. Like, and this season, this year, how this year went for them. So that's the shocking part. It's not necessarily that I don't
Yes.
think this Fever team is good enough. I just would not have guessed that this season it would have happened. I think that's the surprising part.
Well, I mean, before the season started, right? When they made their free agency moves, bringing Dewana, Natasha Howard, um, Caitlin coming back with a year under her belt,
Mhm. Mhm.
obviously bringing Kelsey Mitchell back, Aaliyah Boston. Like, I actually said, this is a team that could make the finals. This was prior to all of the injuries, right?
Yeah.
Then the injuries happened. But I also said this Fever team is still a good team with Kelsey Mitchell.
Mhm.
And that's why I said before, can we put a little bit, no, a lot more respect on Kelsey Mitchell's name? Not a
Yes.
little, a lot.
Yes.
Because what Kelsey Mitchell is doing, she's always done. Like what she's doing is Kelsey's like, y'all, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Where have y'all been? Because this is who I am. This is what I do. And I'm there with you. I could watch Kelsey Mitchell play all day, every day. And I just want to say, because I mentioned Odyssey, Jordan. I just want to say to like just the players to this team, bring in Odyssey, bring in AP, bringing Shea Petty. Who
Yeah.
else? Who else am I missing? Just players who deserve to be in the league should be on somebody's team. For whatever reason, they weren't. They get the call from Stephanie White from the Fever. They come in, they're ready, they're professionals. Whatever you need me to do, let me do it. The fact that this team is playing in a game 5 with a chance to go to the finals. I don't know
Mhm.
who had this on their bingo card, but I just want to say shout out to all of them, but especially the players who just had to come in and fill roster spots, fill spaces. And let's not forget, because we talk about uh Sid, Ari, Caitlin, Sophie, those players been out. Can we also mention Damaris Dantas? Like,
Yes, that was
they
a
haven't had
huge
her.
blow. Yeah, that was
Oh
a huge
my
blow in the
gosh.
playoffs for
And they're
sure.
still winning. They're
Yeah.
still winning. So I don't know. At this point, I'm like, listen, anything can happen because we've seen it.
Yeah.
But if
I would
if the
not be
Aces
surprised.
if the Aces want a shot to make it to the finals, they got to come out and jump on this Fever team early and
Mhm.
keep jumping on them and not give them any thought that they have a chance to win this game.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't
I
wait. I
can't
wish
wait.
game 5 was today.
I know. I know. Uh, uh, I just wanted to piggyback on what you said. I was just thinking about it when you were talking about and listing all the players that have come on to the Indiana Fever. Like, what a testament to the league, right? Like, what a testament to the WNBA having so much talent that you
Yeah.
can just come in and be so professional. And now, yes, it is an opportunity for Odyssey Sims to be in the finals and a Shea Petty to be back in the finals. Like,
Yeah.
all of those things are super important, that they didn't know that they were going to have this opportunity in April, or or earlier in the season. So love that for them, and that's a great story. But there can only be one winner. Only one team's going to the finals.
Ooh, child.
Yeah.
Mm,
And they got to play Phoenix. Whoever is going, they got to play Phoenix,
mm,
who has all the confidence in the world
mm,
right
mm,
now. Um,
mm.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I am looking forward to more of that AB Asia Wilson matchup. Do you think, let me ask you this, whoever wins that matchup, do you think will that be the determining factor of who wins game 5? Or do you have another matchup in mind?
Oh, I I I don't think so. Not that
Mm,
matchup.
okay.
I think it's, for me, it's Nalissa Smith, I think, has to have a good game for the Aces. And I think Odyssey Sims and Lexi Hall both have to play well for Indiana.
Okay.
Let me add one thing. This, I always got to be a little petty. So, whoever the assistant coach is that told Becky they had a timeout
Ooh.
and they didn't.
Yes. That was rough.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! I hope they still got a job today, girl. I
I
was like,
said the same thing. I
oh
said that is your main part of the job.
no,
I hope
yes.
the hoodie blazer combo wasn't, like, I don't know, just
I
distracting
don't know
you
either.
from
Oh my
how many
gosh.
timeouts. But how crazy was it that we heard it on the mic'd up? We
Yes, you
heard
heard
her
Becky
say,
say
we have 2
yes,
timeouts and a reset, and then Ryan
yes.
Rucco jumps in and says, well, actually, she has 1 timeout and a
Yeah.
reset, and didn't think that would, I thought it would be corrected before she called the
Mm,
extra timeout,
mm,
but
mm, mm. 'Cause that was a crucial, like, call. That would
crucial.
attack. The Fever got the ball. I was like, "Oh, no." But
That
shout
is your
out to
job.
Becky, because she handled that way better than I would have.
See,
Ooh,
I actually thought
ooh.
the opposite. I said, this is terrifying how calm she is. That means that they definitely lost their job. How calm she was, how she did not go off.
That's
I
what I
said,
said. She
oh,
was calm. I was like,
this
"Oh,
is
okay."
worse. This is worse. She's too calm. She was
Girl. Like,
So upset.
whoever that assistant is, right? I know they felt like, you know what? And probably
You're
woke up
like,
this
"Ooh."
morning like, "Damn, do I still have a job?" Mm,
Start sending out them resumes.
mm.
Update that LinkedIn.
Ain't nobody about to hire you because you can't even keep up with timeouts. No, I'm just playing. Damn,
It was terrible.
that was, whew, jeez. Yeah, that
That
was
was rough.
bad.
That was
Mhm,
rough. So
mhm,
we
mhm.
can expect that ain't going at the very least, that mistake ain't gonna happen again in game 5. She gonna triple
Nah,
check, double check.
nah.
Yeah. Eh, yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. Game 5, Tuesday night. If you guys are gonna listen to this and then immediately get to watch the game. I'm so jealous. We're gonna take another break, and then when we come back, we have some flowers that we need to send out. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. What a fun episode this has been, because these games have been so fun. And there have been so many players that I feel like we've kind of given flowers to all throughout this episode, but it's time to give even more flowers and send flowers. Sponsored by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly just way more personalized than other apps out there. Cheryl, who are you sending flowers to
Uh,
today?
uh, Today,
It
well,
could be multiple.
okay,
Yeah.
good. 'Cause,
Jeez. Yeah.
I absolutely wanna give flowers to AT because AT deserves them. I'm so happy for her. I wanna give flowers to Fee because I hate that her season ended the way it did. You said multiple, so let me do multiple. I also wanna give flowers to Sammy Whitcomb. I think
Hmm.
Sammy is a player that has been the ultimate professional. Seattle, New York, Phoenix. She just stays ready for the moment and is always knocking down big shots. So I want to give her flowers. But the one that I really, 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 really want to give a huge bouquet to is Dewana Bonner. And we
Hello.
talked about her during the segment.
Mhm.
If you heard her interview, like right after the game on the court, she said, she was starting to question her ability, her basketball talent, and she wasn't in a good space and everything she's gone through this season, with the fever and to play the way she played in game 4, especially having not played very well throughout the playoffs in round 1, round 2, but to stay ready, to stay
Mhm.
professional, to stay in the moment and understanding why you're there and that the team needs you. Not to mention the fact that she is a mama too. I get it. There's so much that is on her shoulders, AT shoulders, but I just appreciate the professional that she remains to be. And
Yes.
yeah, it was a total team effort in the win for in game 4, but Dewana Bonner was huge. She
Yeah.
stepped up, she understood the assignment, she knocked down some big shots, and she was a big reason why the Phoenix Mercury are going to the finals. So shout out DB. So happy for you, proud of you. Here's your bouquet. Do whatever you want to do with it. Just don't let the babies get them. Um, but super proud of you and happy for you.
Well, we could just keep pouring on, because I that was gonna be my bouquet as well to Dewana
Yeah, well, go
Bonner.
for it. Yeah,
And you talked about just, this season and the turmoil, but I think about just how she has the most playoff appearances in league history, 15. This was her
wow,
93rd playoff game.
wow,
And when you think about that experience, and when we go back to that whole conversation of, oh, is Phoenix going to pick her up, or what she added to the fever in the free agency, it was that experience. And to be able to know after 92 other playoff games that you belong here and deserve to be here and can be an asset to a team, can knock down a shot, that belief just kind of, even if it's on autopilot, like you just know that it's there.
yeah.
Um, and to have your teammates and your fiance be able to pour into you and pour
Mhm.
confidence back into you when maybe you were a little shaky. We talked about the stats earlier, 0 for 9 from 3 and had a couple 0-point games
Yep.
in this series. And I was like, man, if they just get Tawana going, that can change things. And that's exactly what happened with those timely buckets. So I hope this is a huge piece for her confidence. I know before, I think it was game 2, someone asked, is this it for DB?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this your last season? And this was pregame, and she was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna come back next year. If I come back next year, I'm definitely not coming back the year after that. She joked, but I think of the legacy that she has done in the WNBA, everything that she has poured into this league, the championships that she won. Now for another chance to get another one on her
Yeah.
way out, as she got one in her rookie year on her way in, is super, super special. So yes, all the
Yep.
flowers to you, Dewana Bonner. I love this for you. Love
So
this for you.
deserving.
So deserving. That was Sending Flowers, sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code to get free money. Use our code Hoopers, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right in your account. Thank you, Cash App. And thank you, Cheryl, for sharing your petty your pettiness, your petty takes, but also your basketball
So good.
takes. And I
So,
was
so good.
so excited. I got so many messages. They were like, "You and Cheryl, we need this breakdown. These games are so good." So
So
I
good.
was
So good. So good. So good.
running to record
Ah,
this. Thank you. It's always fun.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's women'shoops@odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Cheryl Swoops. Our producer is Phil Sweetek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkeiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.